Welcome into the crypto bunker. Today we're going to be talking about Aave and the V3 proposal that just came out. They have a social graph that's coming soon. We'll take a look at the Aave chart. Just talk about Stani and some of his thoughts that he's talked about in recent interviews. And so let's get started. I just wanted to show the graph real quick for Aave. And it looks super bullish to me. I've been saying this for a while though. So, I mean, it's been forming this wedge. And, right now, if we take the top of the wedge to the bottom and we look for a breakout to about $800, maybe $770, which obviously would be more than even a double from here. It is sitting at about a $4 billion market cap, which again is very undervalued for the total value locked that they have in the protocol. They have about $26.4 billion locked. We did have something happen the other day where Justin Sun, who is the creator of Tron, who decided to take out $7 billion of liquidity. So it was at 31 billion. But it's climbed its way back pretty quickly from that. He did create an issue where the DAI interest rate went way up because he took DAI out of the lending side of that equation. So the interest rate spiked. There wasn't a little bit of an issue. There was some talk about how Aave could also be exposed, just like Cream Finance was exposed with their X Sushi as collateral for some reason. I'm not sure about that completely. You'd have to look into it, but there's a few people from Yearn Finance who called it out. But then they actually helped, with the protocol. And we recently had Maker who came out and basically said, we will be providing DAI directly to Aave. And so there's this big post that Maker put out about the mechanism behind that and how that's going to work. But I think just connecting DeFi protocols and helping each other is really what it's all about. So I think that's important for Aave. We can take a look at some of their stats. It only says $15 billion locked, but I think for some reason that's always off. I just go to the website and it says it can show you everything that's in here. Obviously Polygon has 4.1 billion, Avalanche has 5.2, almost 5.3 billion, and then the original V1 has 523. But they are coming out with V3, so it's a long-awaited new features that will make this the most powerful and efficient DeFi liquidity protocol ever designed, move assets over different networks, increase your borrowing power, and much more. So there's going to be a portal where you can actually seamlessly, over different networks, have bridges that tap into the Aave liquidity, allowing cross-chain interactions. So you'll be able to move between Ether, Solana, Polygon, Phantom, Avalanche, and they did mention Solana from what I saw. So that's a huge thing as well for them to integrate with other chains. Obviously, Aave is not chain agnostic, and so that's really good. They're similar to Sushi in that way. They want to just continue to innovate, continue to be a place where you can go for all your DeFi needs. They'll have high efficiency mode, the increasing borrowing power with your own collateral, allowing higher capital efficiency, obviously limit exposure and risk by borrowing up to a specific debt ceiling. There's a lot of things happening, and they also have ARC, which is basically onboarding institutions, banks to their protocol. It's pretty small, right? It's going to start at 10 to 50 million. Probably, but that's only going to continue to grow as that sort of builds up, and that's basically just so that institutions can know their customer, know who they're lending to, know who they're borrowing from. So that's going to help with that. But yeah, what I found interesting is even this, I think this math is even wrong, but it's still only a 0.28 market cap to total value lock ratio. Obviously, no one's ever going to beat Curve because Curve is killing it with their total value locked, but their token, I think, just has constant sell pressure from people earning it. But with Aave, it's about a 0.28 ratio to the 15 billion in terms of their market cap is only about 4 billion. But if you look at the, $26 billion, it becomes, even more than that. I think it becomes, like almost like 0.15 or something like that, 0.17. So it's one of the lower market cap to total value lock ratio. It's even lower than Sushi. Sushi usually is one of the lowest ones, but they've been moving up the charts. And Aave just hasn't really responded. You can look at the chart. Obviously, we had this massive spike, which I kind of suspect was a little bit of foul play, maybe from Justin Sun. I don't know. It was definitely a pump and dump, which you never like to see. But we do have the RSI as well, that's sort of forming this wedge here. So, if we break out from here, I would expect, this isn't what a top looks like. So we're obviously not, close to sort of what a top might look like for Aave or for really any of these coins. Right now it looks to me like it's a consolidation. It's a long consolidation for Aave. And so the longer the consolidation, usually the greater the spike when that happens. So look for possibly Bitcoin to be breaking out to the upside in the next couple of days. And then, maybe the alts follow at some point. But I do think that these traditional DeFi assets will make a difference. And one of the bigger things as well for Aave is Social Graph, which is a social platform that Stani and Aave are creating that will basically make social media a public good. So you can build apps on top of it with Social Graph. You can, Web 2 is sort of like not really interactive and like, it's not something where you can reward people in certain ways. And so I think that, Web 2 is sort of extracting from users, while Web 3 is sort of, giving the user more rights, obviously like connecting NFTs, connecting communities together, finding ways to bring revenue to those communities, broadcasting relationships on chain to distribute to users on chain. So think of like Discord and Twitter combined, with incentives and with, connecting to the blockchain. There could be, different lending and borrowing that happens. I think people are talking about MetaFi, which is like DeFi and Metaverse combined. I see that Sushi is sort of doing that first, and I think they have first mover advantage because Shoyu NFT just came out. So they sort of have the advantage there in terms of the Metaverse and DeFi combining. And just imagine being able to step into a Metaverse bank with your, your profile, your avatar in the game with your virtual goggles on, and you can lend, borrow, stake, exchange, create your own token, trade, get liquidity on your NFTs. Shoyu and Sushi are about as close as you can get to this, but I think that Aave will probably be right there with it, with their own sort of spin on it in a social media type of platform, because Sushi doesn't exactly have that. They just have this metaverse. But with Aave, I think it'll be similar to that, but more in the social media space. So we'll see what they have cooking. I believe in Stani. I believe in his vision. I believe in the fact that he understands the metaverse. He understands Ethereum and how, Ethereum is going to be the dominant blockchain in the future, and, integrating with layer 2 solutions. I think that that's coming as well for Aave. So look out for that as well. Not only other layer 1s, but layer 2 solutions coming to Aave soon. I think in the next couple of months, they're going to ship a lot of products. And I think that, don't bet against Stani and don't bet against Aave is really the main thing I wanted to say. Main reason I wanted to make this video, just to give you guys a quick update, because I know people have liked the Aave videos in the past. And so I wanted to give an update on where Aave was as a protocol, where the chart is at. We're just kind of like breaking out of this massive accumulation wedge. We obviously had the first run up, and we're sort of looking for that wave 3. We had wave 1, we have wave 2 correction, wave 3, usually wave 4, and then, we really take off. And, looking at some of the bigger, banks, in my opinion, I think Aave is the future of banking, right? I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be. And, it's an innovative bank that's going to be integrated with the metaverse. And, people talk about DeFi 2.0 and things that are happening in the space, all the innovation. I still think that people will always have loyalty, especially institutions, to the protocols that have been in place the longest. It's sort of like Bitcoin. When people have the most trust in Bitcoin, they have the second most trust in Ethereum. And I think that Aave just has to continue to chip away and continue to innovate and continue to be safe. It's very important that there is no, rug pulls and really hacks and things like that. The longer that they stay alive and stay safe, the more that people are going to believe in it. And me personally, I use Aave for lending and borrowing, and so I personally have more faith towards them than anything. And if I ever wanted to lend or borrow in the future, I would always go back to them because I know that they protected my assets in the past, and so I want to use them in the future. And that's kind of how you create these network effects around these projects. And you also have a token on top that lets you earn revenue as part of the Aave protocol. You can stake your Aave to earn like 7% interest on it. So it's something where like network effects I think are very powerful, and we haven't really seen it play out as much in this next sort of wave. I mean, we've been consolidating here for almost a year, obviously. So look out for the sort of the next DeFi wave. I think it's going to be the original DeFi protocols like Aave and Sushi, in which I'm betting on to really sort of be the next big wave of not only innovation and new products, but loyalty and institutions who have always used those products, either continuing to use them or coming back, and then onboarding new people as well, which is something that we need to do in crypto. So think of Wells Fargo being a $200 billion company. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but that's like a 50x gain from here. Obviously, I wouldn't look for that in this cycle, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Aave around like 1,400 at the very peak of this cycle, somewhere around maybe 2,000. I don't think that that's far-fetched to say that Aave could, could even 10x from here, like 3,000, right? I mean, if you think of like if ETH is at 20K to 40K, and we have a $2 trillion to $4 trillion market cap, okay, what's like the top lending and borrowing platform on Ethereum going to be? Well, it probably could be 40 billion. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be. It could be even more than that. It could be 100 billion. I mean, so I've heard people say like back in the day like $7,000 Aave at the top. I think that's a little bit probably too crazy. I mean, but we'll see. I mean, I definitely think a 10x is possible, but if you want to be a little bit more conservative, I think 800 in this next wave. I think a correction, and then maybe we finish around 13 or 1400, somewhere from March to June, something like that. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, got some information about Aave. I think it's a great protocol, and hopefully you guys are subscribed. If you're not, please do so. Please like the video, share the video, and we'll see you next time.